This as President Trump upped the ante in his showdown with the head of that so-called sanctuary state today by tweeting about Democratic Governor Jerry Brown. Here to discuss this is Tiffany Cross, co-founder and managing editor of the Beat DC, and Lawrence Jones, editor-in-chief for campusreform.org. Good of you both to join us today. So let's get right down and drill down through the facts of this. It now appears that California, for all intents and purposes, is falling into a statewide civil war of words, if you will, over how to handle this sanctuary status law. Orange County officials, I've just stated, have voted to join the Trump administration lawsuit against the state's sanctuary city laws. That while California's Attorney General Javier Becerra says he may take legal action against those state officials and even the sheriff if they go against the state law. How does this strike both of you? Lawrence, I'll begin with you. Actually, let me start with the lady first. I'll begin with you. Explain to me what your reaction is to this.
Well, first, good to be with you, Kelly. Thank you. And glad to be back with my friend Lawrence. I just think this is not the first time that Orange County has been on the wrong side of history. This is the birthplace of Proposition 8 on what they consider to be traditional marriage. This is also the birthplace of Citizens United, which, as you both know, went all the way to the Supreme Court, which noted that corporations could be people. So this is a county that would rather treat corporations like people rather than actual people. Orange County represents a small faction of California. There are only, I think, 3 million people in Orange County. California has nearly 40 million people in the state. And so if we want to talk about state rights and doing something well for the state, these undocumented immigrants in California contribute to a $180 billion workforce. And it's not just agriculture. This is childcare. This is healthcare. So to put a strain on local law enforcement and have them act under the guise of federal immigration enforcement officials is ridiculous and goes against everything that could make this a viable state. Instead of, I think it's kind of overstated to say it's a civil war.
Tiffany, hold on to that thought. Sure. I'm sure Lawrence has something else to say about that. Lawrence, go ahead.
First of all, we're not talking about all illegals, Tiffany. We're talking about the criminals. And all Orange County wants to do is notify ICE. They're not trying to get involved in the process. They just want to notify them when the criminals are there, especially when you have California that has allowed some of their judges to allow criminals outside of the back door when ICE officials are waiting outside to arrest criminals. We're not talking about all illegal immigrants, even though they are, in fact, breaking the law and so they can be arrested. Orange County is just trying to protect the citizens. And I think the Democrats in California are part of this whole national conversation that Democrats are now trying to run on immigration, which I don't understand why they would shut down the government over immigration, why they would run on this policy when a lot of these people can't even vote.
Lawrence, let me get in here real quickly. Tiffany, think about this, and Lawrence, think about this as well. Because adding to this problem, you have California Governor Jerry Brown, who just pardoned, getting to Lawrence's point, Tiffany, 2 immigrants set for deportation. One of them was actually facing a felony weapons charge. And then President Trump, in response, tweeted his frustration with Governor Brown, tweeting this: Governor Jerry Moonbeam Brown pardoned 5 criminal illegal aliens whose crimes include kidnapping, robbery, badly beating wife, and threatening a crime with intent to terrorize, dealing drugs. Is this really what the great people of California want? And then he tweeted a second time earlier in the week. He tweeted this: My administration stands in solidarity with the brave citizens in Orange County defending their rights against California's illegal and unconstitutional sanctuary policies. California's sanctuary laws release known dangerous criminals into communities across the state. All citizens have the right to be protected by federal law and strong borders. So, Tiffany, when you look at it from that perspective, to Lawrence's point, is he right in saying, let's go after the illegal immigrants who are committing crimes against the people of Orange County in California?
Well, you'll have to forgive me if I don't take the president's Twitter account as a reliable source for
facts.
Okay. So I haven't examined. So I haven't examined each of those cases, obviously. But I think obviously we want to protect all people. We want to make sure that nobody is subject to any violent crimes. But as both of you gentlemen well know, the lines can get really blurry on who law enforcement considers a criminal. And we have already seen evidence cases of people showing up under the guise of looking for a criminal and ending up detaining indefinitely
but Tiffany, what
other
about
people who are undocumented.
The governor trying to pardon a criminal that was a violent offender when it comes to a weapons charge? This is a governor that is anti-gun already and wants gun control. Why would you release this guy when this is a guy breaking the law when it comes to a weapons charge? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, again, I have not looked at the specific details of the 5 cases that the president referenced on his Twitter account, but I hardly think that this one person should represent the over 10 million hardworking undocumented immigrants in California. So I think it still comes down to an issue of straining local law enforcement, who should be focused on the issues of California and protecting a community that contributes over $180 billion to the workforce there.
Tiffany, I love the fact that you can make your points, and Lawrence, you've made your points as well. I think a lot of people are watching this, and I will wrap it with this. Happy Easter to both of you.